Sanam Ki Rola Penshir Sangye Drupasho Chedan Toki Chonam La Chanchu Badu Dadni Kapsu Chi Daki Chenyen Gipe Sanam Ki Rola Penshir Sangye Drupasho Shogi Dogi. Yay!
Okay, so have a quiz.
Yeah!
For the PPT. So, what should we do if we want to have an attractive appearance?
Smile at people.
What did the text mention as this particular text? mentioned.
He says that. He says being happy.
Do your Dharma work carefully.
Yes.
Do your translations carefully.
Yeah. He said statues, carving books, etc. Good use resources, or not use cheap resources. That is. Yeah. For books or statues or images. Right. Cool. What is the cause for being helplessly attacked by negative emotions like anger or desire? This one is more of a general answer.
Check your spelling on the word helpless.
It could be haplessly too.
Oh, helplessly. Sorry.
Helplessly.
I meant to write helplessly. What does helplessly mean?
It kind of means it's pretty close. It's not bad.
It's more like not caring, but
Okay.
it's without having a chance to cherish.
Kind speech.
Self-cherish.
Right. He said a little bit more. I mean, yeah, it is
I like
self-cherish.
self-cherishing, push me around.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And we should
Fight it.
rip it from our heart.
Oh.
Number 3, what is the cause for things we try to do never working out? Which is similar to another correlation we had done before.
Not doing what our mama asked us to do.
That was the one before. In this one, he gave another twist to do with trying to practice either Lamrim or the secret teachings. It's the very last phrase we saw on the text.
Mix up the
Lower view.
I got a
Lower views.
Mm.
Letting lower views affect our heart.
What is lower views?
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
That was the last
It's
phrase.
coming. It's coming in about 2 minutes.
Vocabulary. Shengpa. Shengpa. Shengpa.
The hieroglyphic for armoire.
It relates to the first question.
So it's a craft.
To craft, to rise.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Build. Yang. Nangyu. Thank you.
the way you are.
The
Oh.
natural disposition.
That's pretty good.
Disposition? It's not bad disposition?
No.
Oh. I'll
No,
change that.
it's just disposition. Yeah.
Disposition.
That would be Yang on cue.
Oh. Thank you. I'll correct that. And third one. Then, no.
Oh yeah, man.
This comes in the Vajragini mantra. Mukche rengche mongche kunni nabarga.
Okay.
Crooked.
Mukche rengche mongche. No, mukche rengche mongche kunni nabarga.
Crooked.
You can say crooked. But there it means sort of not keeping, I don't know how to say it, acting
Obstinate.
inappropriately crazy. Something like that. Yeah. Inappropriately wild behavior. Which implies there's appropriate wild behavior. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Cool.
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right then. I want to welcome. Well, I'd like to again. Huh?
Can you take the screen?
I'll take the screen. I don't know if you all know John Foley, but oh, sorry, Lounge, right? He was the head of the Blue Angels flight team for a while, and then he's has a bunch of pile degrees from Stanford, right? In business, and he ran a bunch of successful business. Now he runs a successful business, and he's gonna give us a training next weekend on how to be more of a team. Because my theory is that we've all been individual superstars in the translation program, and that's what you were supposed to do for the last 2 years. But we're entering a new era in this translation team, which is that books are getting finished after 2.5, 3 years. Some books will take 30 years. Stanley's will take about 30 years. But some of them are ready to come out. We decided to break them into pieces of, say, 300 to 500 pages each. So now we have to start working. It's up to you, you know. You can have your books just be unknown in the world. You know what I mean? Or poorly printed, amateurly printed, which is how most Dharma books have been. Or you can really get a team together. And then you're all going to have to specialize in different skills. I think Utpala is coming out as our superstar editor of other people's books. But you're all going to have to do something, okay? So think about it. And I'm hoping John can give us some training about how to be a team. He's done many professional football teams. He advises teams like that. So we're similar, right? Okay. And I'd like to welcome Heather Halstead, who is the manager of the Peachtree Cafe, which is a major restaurant in the area. And I'd like you to get to know her, and she's a very talented person. She's done many things, and me and Veronica met her 5 years ago. Yeah, and we love her, and we talked her into being in charge of it. And but a couple things, if you have suggestions about how you would run a small cafe in this area, you know, like what kind of food you would like to see, or things like that. Talk to her, okay? She'll be here for a couple classes today. And just become her friend, because she's part of our team now. And thank you for coming, and thank you for running that place. So I can translate. All right. Okay. So here we go. Somebody asked a very good question, which proves that if a monkey bangs on a typewriter all day, a word will go. Just kidding. Stanley said, so Seiji's text, by the way, what's the history of your text? Like, pretend Heather's a new person here, and she doesn't know anything about your text.
So this text belongs to a category called Lojong. There's two main things that you need to, according to the Buddhist teachings, there's two main things that you need to reach enlightenment or get to a perfect world. One of them is wisdom or understanding of how things work, and the other one is to have a strong heart that wants to help all people. The main focus of this book is to help us develop that strong heart, or develop a good heart. And in particular, this book also concentrates on correlations, which means there's in the wisdom side, or how things work, you get things like, if you do this, you will get that. And there are some things that are not obvious, so for that we need the help of someone who has a better mind than us, which is in this case the Buddha. And well, sort of. And so this book tells us that it tells you if you have this problem, it's because you did that, and you should do this to solve it, basically. So, yeah,
Historically, the text?
oh, historically, it was written by a guy called Dharma Rakshita, given to one of the big teachers of Buddhism, Lord Atisha. And it was given to him as he was going to teach
In Tibet.
Going to Tibet, right?
So Tibet used to be a bunch of yak herders, even without a written language, exactly 1,000 years ago. And then one teacher in India sent a famous teacher, his student, to teach the wild Tibetans these new ideas, similar to how people came to teach us. And just before his student left to Tibet, he said, "You're going to need these directions on what to teach." And he gave him this book. So that's the history of it. And the original is missing. This is the translation of it, yeah? Okay. Maybe we'll find it someday. Okay, here we go. Oh, should I? That's not. I'm on Mirror Lounge. I should just go to Lounge. Good? Oh, money penny.
It should be on a
Should be on one.
Yeah, 18 minutes.
HDMI one.
Got it? Whoa. Good? Okay, here we go. So the... Nope. Yeah. I think just lounge. Oh, money penny. Oh, it keeps going to mirror. Is that significant?
You got it out.
Okay, good. So the dark letters, the bold letters, are the original letter from the teacher to his student. And the not so bold letters are a talk that was given in Tibet, I don't know, 200 years ago or something. And so we're going through the talk to understand the ancient poetry, because the language was written almost before Tibetans had an alphabet, or just after they had an alphabet. So the words are very difficult. So we're using a commentary. Now, what the root text just said is Drupa Kanche Misu Masong Tse, means what happens when you try to do a project like a new cafe, and Mixu Masong Tse means what if you have mess-ups on the way? You know, you try to do this and it doesn't work out, and you try to do this and it doesn't work out. What karma do you have to clean up that your new project or the details of your new project are not working out? Okay, that's exactly what he's talking about. I don't know why you're here at this moment. He says the karma is that you were looking at the world the wrong way. You were looking at the world the wrong way. Okay, tawa memba, literally lower way of looking. Okay, you were looking at the world the wrong way. And Stanley asked a very, mistakenly intelligent question. I like to make fun of you. I hope you don't mind it. He's my boy anyway. Is that which of the different wrong ways of looking at the world are they talking about here? And then he's going to discuss it now. Okay, so here we go. Go, Seiji. Cheer. Sorry, let me do one thing. Let me push this down so you can get the whole thing at once. Okay, here we go.
Cheer kawala jikten lenge mande ki kawa tuma
Tawa.
tawa.
Yeah. Tuma. Let's stop there just for make it easy. Cheer, we had it this morning. Spitang. Yeah, generally speaking, when we talk about wrong ways of looking at the world, which is the karma to have mess-ups at your new project, there's There's many different kinds. Dumaye. Dumaye at the end of the line. Dumaye. There are many different kinds of wrong ways of looking at the world. And they can generally be divided into Jikten le Deba and Jikten le Mandepa. Okay? Jikten le Deba and Jikten le Mandepa. Which is what?
Worldly and the kind that transcend the world.
Yeah, like, I didn't pay my bills is worldly. Jikten le Mandepa is, I wasn't thinking to help all the elderly people in this town. I didn't keep it in the front of my mind. I was more concerned with getting the electric bill paid or something like that. So I was focusing on the worldly side and I wasn't thinking about the spiritual side. Okay, so generally, you can have looking at the world problems two ways. Looking at the world in terms of real world, bills, payments, loans, and then beyond the world, which is is our motivation strong enough to help these elderly people? You see what I mean? That's beyond the world. Okay, got it? So he says generally you can divide the ways you look at the world into these two. Practical and impractical, right? Which is impractical? Okay, yeah, paying your bills. Okay. But, he says, okay, kyang means look. Yeah, I mean, we all agree. Means we all agree that there's two ways of looking at the world. But dikap,
In this instance,
yeah, in the context of this book, okay, please read. Come dikap,
Ki tawa ni
tawa.
tawa
Yeah.
ni ranche par tene shenya one door. We tawa man patan.
Let's leave it there. Remember, I'm going to cut you into pieces so you can, know where you are. Dikap means in this context of this particular book, what's a lower way of looking at the world? Tawani means rangche, zin.
cherishing.
Yeah, watch out for number one. Take care of yourself first, then take care of other people. Okay, that's the lower viewpoint of the world in the context of this particular book, is to take care of yourself first, and then take care of other people. Okay, rangche pertene, you having, and he makes a joke here. You view yourself as the one to be taken care of. It's a joke. What's the view do? It views me as being more important. Okay, he makes a joke. He makes the verb out of tawa. You see it? Here's view, and here's you view yourself. And then he says, and then you yondor other people. Yeah, you ignore them. You ignore their needs. You focus on your needs. Okay, yondor means you kind of trash. It almost means trash other people's. You ignore other people's needs. Yondor. That's tawa member. That's a lower way of looking at the world in the context of this book, which implies that there are other contexts. If it had been a different book, a lower way of looking at the world might have been different. Okay. Dak chenzen kita. The viewpoint where
You see yourself as
you cherish yourself first. It kongdushuk. This is a little difficult for you guys. You haven't had this.
it empties it?
Close.
Because kondu
Yeah, kong means the empty. But what it means here is the inside of your body, the cavities
right.
of your body. Kongdushuk means it got into your heart. Okay, it got inside. It has attacked your innards. So you're not going to say innards, but it has weaseled its way into your heart. Okay. Yeah, and that's a laying in. Okay, that's a bad karma. And it will korwa rangla.
It will help. It will perpetuate itself.
Nope.
It's gonna spin the wheel of knives on your head.
Yeah, it's going to come back to you.
Back to you.
It will circle back to you. It'll come back to you. The name of his book is The Wheel of Knives. And the knife comes back to you. Okay, it'll flip back to you. Korwa samne, understanding that point, think about that point, and then do some tonglen. which is do some tonglen.
Meditate on taking away other people's pain and giving them good stuff.
Yeah. What's the unique tonglen that he recommends in this book? We.
Rifle barrel.
What is it? I don't remember. I remember there was one.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple, I think, descriptions.
Yeah, like to have your lama and then to use the taking to destroy your self-cherishing.
Like a sword to destroy your selfishness. Okay.
What Ina said is that you actually, for other people who are doing the same problem as you, do tonglen on them.
Okay. Now he goes back to Tsawa. Why?
Because it's that part of the verse. Where
It's
he
the last
says,
part.
From now on.
But what's the last part in the pattern of this book?
What are you supposed to do from here on out?
Yeah. Yeah. How am I supposed to change? What do you want me to do? So, okay, you identified my problem. What am I supposed to do now? I want the cafe to run well. I don't want mess ups. So what am I supposed to do? And then he splits off another piece of the root of the original letter of the Lama, which is poetry.
But he didn't cover the worldly and the ones that just in the world.
He's gonna get there. Oh no, he just said generally we all know that there's two, but in this case it's Rang Chenzen. But he's gonna talk more about it later. He's gonna talk about different viewpoints. He's gonna get into middle way and he's gonna get into secret teachings. Okay. Well, let's do it now. I mean, what's a lower way of looking at problems with the cafe? And I'm not saying we have problems with the cafe. We don't yet because we're not open. But I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I'm just picking it because it's on my mind. But let's say you have problems with your marriage, or you have problems with your kids, or so, I don't know. So.
Blame the government, blame employees.
Yeah. So, what would be a lower view of those problems if we're not talking about the secret teachings? What's the highest lower view of those problems? That they don't. Yeah, it's not my fault. Yeah, it's my husband has a problem, or my son has a problem, or my boss has a problem. It's not me who's causing the problem, and that's a lower view because in this system, supposedly, things are coming from how you've treated people in the past. And there's actually a process why how seeds open in your mind, they present pictures to your mind, and you don't recognize that this is happening, right? And you think that your husband, for example, is being unreasonable. But really, it's your unreasonableness being mirrored in other people, okay? So that would be a higher viewpoint of problems outside of this text, but still inside of open Buddhism. Now, the $55 question, which is free. In the secret teachings, what would be the wrong view? If let's say, a customer in your cafe complains, calls the health department, unreasonably, what's the higher view? What's the highest view of Buddhism?
They're Buddha trying to help.
Yeah, they are Buddha trying to help you. You don't have enough. You're supposed to meet the person at the health department who's going to help you in 3 years. They're going to save your cafe in 3 years. So the customer is actually a Buddha who sees that you have to meet this guy now so that 3 years later he can help you. Okay, so that's the highest viewpoint. And to think that it's just a schmuck, to think that the customer is just an ordinary schmuck and not a Buddha schmuck. In the highest teaching of Buddhism, that's the lower view. Got it? Okay. So, and this is especially useful for divorces and stuff, which I can attest to. To think that they were helping you in some way. They sent you on a journey, a higher journey. And so, when things don't go well with your business or your personal life, then the highest teachings of Buddhism says, you are being prepared for something more beautiful. And never forget it. Never forget it. Don't get sad about stuff and don't get depressed about stuff. You are being prepared for something more beautiful. And this is a necessary step to get there. Okay? All right. let's go to, okay, Dani.
Tani, Chiche, Shentun, Ni, Ducha.
We can translate that without looking at the explanation. Dani.
From now on.
Yeah, from now on, I'm gonna, what do you call it? Change my ways. Chiche. Good.
Whatever I do will be.
Yeah, whatever I do, I'm only gonna do it for
The benefit of other people.
others. I'm gonna stop worrying about what's gonna help me. I'll focus on helping others, and that's the best way to help me. Okay. So, by the way, you don't necessarily. The suggestion here is not that you are sacrificing anything. It's that there's a higher way to get what you want every time, which is to take care of what other people want. And then what you want will come automatically. You don't have to worry about it. So, but Buddhism is not suggesting sacrifice. You know, you give up your happiness, you be miserable, and take care of others. This is not a Buddhist concept. Okay, by taking care of others, you will be perfectly happy and successful. And it's not that you will somehow get a great attitude about pain. That's not the goal. You know, that you will learn to live with ignoring yourself. That's not the goal. The goal is focus on others, and the things you want will come more than you ever dreamed of. Okay? And more than if you took care of yourself in the first place. Okay? Karma will take care of you better than you can take care of yourself. Got it? Yeah.
What's the Tucha mean exactly?
Where?
In the end,
Oh, I will do.
I will do.
I will only work for others. I will only work for others. So the ni is the exclusive particle, right?
Yeah, me understood, but the Tucha was missing.
Yeah, this ni means exclusively. Yeah. Ni do, exclusively. Okay. All right, let's read the commentary. Shepa. Please read.
She, Dachin, She, Gewe, Chawa,
Who's got the plane? Or Adam, you got the plane?
Chi Tang, Chi Che, Kian Rao, De, Ki Chi Wei, Wa Wei, Tan Ne, Ma Le, Le Par Shin, Tun, Ba Shi, Ki, Chi Tu, Chi, Ge Pen, Tun.
Good, okay. She means, what's that line saying? End quotation mark. Ta chin che. Yeah, from now on. Gewe chawa chi dan chi che kyan. Chi dan chi means whichever. Whatever one it may be. Chi dan chi means whatever good deed I ever try to do. Gewe chawa chi dan chi. Okay, I try to do. Che kyan. I will not allow it to be lepa, but slad. Infected, nice. I will not allow the things I do, which are when I attempt to do good, I will not allow my attempts to be good, to do good, to be infected by rangde.
My own desire.
Yeah, my own desires, what I want, okay? And then he compares focusing on your own desires to a triwa. And as you can see, and as I wrote here, it refers to a, what do you call those plants which live off other plants?
Parasite?
Like, what's that plant? Down near the Beaver Creek that kills the other plants.
Yeah, mistletoe.
It's called invasive.
Invasive species?
That's a little
Someone introduced it, and they weren't supposed to. And
Yeah, they brought it over.
what is it? I don't remember.
The governor's wife. Yeah.
It's a vine, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's bush.
Oh, and it kills all the other plants.
Yeah, especially along the creeks and rivers.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the name of it, but it has beautiful purple flowers, and she wanted it in her yard, so they imported it from the
Wisteria or
Is it wisteria? Yeah. You know, there's environmental groups who go and just tear it out.
Yeah.
They walk down the creek and tear it out because it kills everything else. Okay. Anyway, that's a tiwa. Okay. That's a vine. And,
No, it's
but morning glories are also in that category, frankly. Invasive, and they kill off the other plants. So here, The invasive plant is what?
Desire.
Yeah,
your own
focusing
desire.
on what you want. Focusing on what you want is like an invasive plant that chokes your good deeds. He's not talking about bad deeds. He's saying your good deeds are infected by this invasive plant, okay? And I'm tene for $20. Nope. That's tengi duma nyudu dupshi bu. Last line of the. Hmm?
No.
Sorry? Late?
Definitely.
Okay, I'll lower it to $10 and I'll give you a clue. I offer them money, Heather. That's the only way I can get them to pay attention in the afternoon. Tene male.
Yeah. Uninfected by.
Tene.
Permanently.
Okay, cancel the bet. At all. At all. At all.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's in positive way, it's totally. Negative way, it's at all. I will never ever let myself be infected in any way at all
Oh,
by this invasive plant called a little bit of extra thoughts about what I want. Then completely. Tengi duma nyudu dukshi bu in the, what's it called? Three Principal Paths, the last line. Go, my son, and seek your ultimate hopes. Do tengi dunma, your ultimate aspirations. So ten there means ultimate. It has meanings of ultimate and completely, and okay. So then, by the way, it's very common in colloquial, which is unusual. Okay. He's a complete idiot. And I will shindun bashik. Yeah, I will only focus on what other people want. Chidu, for the sake of others. Che gu, that's how I have to do my gewas. Yeah, my good deeds shouldn't be infected by self-interest, which they always are. It doesn't matter who in this room. Even your good deeds are always infected with some amount of wanting to be famous or people like you or stuff like that. Okay. Gope dun means the point of this last line is that that's what you have to do. The point of this last line, dun, is that that's what you have to do. Okay? Now, header means later, and when Seiji translates the sections that we're doing in class, which he'll do over the next 6 weeks, that's our custom, and he'll get paid for 6 weeks to do it, he will put a header here which kind of summarizes the crux of this next verse in a sweet, pretty way. This is the chance for you guys to be creative. One of the frustrations of being a translator is you're just translating somebody else's words. So for me, it's kind of exciting when I get to a header. I want to put a short, sexy little header that shows how creative I am or something. Okay. Like, I don't want you to say an analysis of self-cherishing. I don't want something like that. I want something like, stupid, invasive marigold or it's a cool name. Okay, here we go. Sawa. Lung. Lung. When there's a B in front of it, it gets good. It gets high tone. Lung. We can translate this. We don't need the commentary. Then let's go see if he agrees with us. Which he better. Okay. Geijor is the same as Geijong.
Engaging in good things when I
Yeah.
practice good stuff.
In my life of trying to do good things, okay, Geijor, good things, helping others, Chekyang, when I do them, but suppose I haven't tooled my own gyut.
I didn't change my own mind.
Good. This is a very ancient passive past tense of dul, vinaya, right? Vinaya, and it means to tame a horse, which is the Buddhist word for morality, to tame a wild horse. Okay. Yeah, disciple, someone who should be disciplined with a stick. Okay. The Tibetan word for Disciple is the wild horse that has to be hit with a stick or something like that. Okay, which is probably the same in English. Disciple, discipline. Okay, Rangyu, I haven't tooled my own mind. Okay, so I'm trying to do good things. You know, I'm a Buddhist. I'm trying to help people, but I didn't first try to control my own mind. I didn't try to make my own mind soft, and because of that, I was Seiji. I was focused on Seiji. This life, Chetap.
Big time.
Nope. Chetap is an idiom.
In the majority?
Ways of making myself.
Bigger?
Yeah. Yeah, I was interested in becoming prominent, well known. I want people to think I'm the most compassionate person in Rimrock. You see what I mean? That's Chetap. Chetap means, but my good deeds were infected by this hope that people will talk about me in a positive way. So Chetap means all the good deeds I was doing were infected by this hope that I would become in some way special, considered special. Okay, Chetap. And that kind of attitude, I tangdulen, it's an idiom. Anybody know?
I took upon myself. I accepted.
Almost. Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah, cultivate's a great word actually. Yeah. I ended up cultivating, instead of a good heart, I was cultivating my own hope for being famous or being big, being considered more compassionate than other people in Rimrock, or something like that. Okay. Lang bai. Tang lang, if you want to make a note of it, you guys who want to speak Tibetan, it means to do things as a volunteer. Okay, without pay. Tang lang. Yeah, if you're praising somebody, you know, and you say, look, he didn't make a dime out of this. He was the monastery treasurer for 15 years, and it was all tang lang, meaning he did it without any payment. He refused all payment. It's called tang lang. Okay, okay, tang lang bai. And if that happens, you're gonna get. Yeah, your bad karma is gonna come back and cut you like a ninja star or something like that. Okay, it's gonna turn a boomerang ninja star. That's a new name for your book. Boomerang ninja star. Okay. Okay, now here's his commentary on this. Okay, here we go.
Seiji, Jur, Shefa, Rankyu, Gewalan, Jur, Cheki, Tap, Namla, Serwayina.
Let's stop there. Okay, let's do it in little pieces. Now, the root text has a word, and Seiji's gonna do all the bolding. Okay, so look, see it up there on the screen? We're gonna bold Gejor, because he's weaving the poetry of the root text into his commentary, and this is considered very elegant in Tibetan writing. If you can weave in the tapestry of the original text in a way which flows well, which is almost impossible, then you're a great writer. Okay, so he's hiding the words of the Lama's letter, 1,000-year-ago letter, into his. And don't forget, this is an oral lecture, so he's showing off how cool he is by weaving in the root text without making it obvious. He's not saying, by the way, Gejor means, okay, although he does. Sometimes. I'll say, so Gejor. And I'm not going to do it, but you're going to do it. There's the Che down here. But I want you to learn to do it. Work with word if you want. He's had to do it with his text. Nick's had to do it with his text. And if you guys can do that, it will save me time. And 5 minutes of my time is priceless. I don't have any time. I really don't have any time. I'm booked till the end of December 2020, every hour. Okay, so if you can save me some time, we can do Gibson's book or something. Right? He's waiting for a book. That's the alternate to murdering one of the other translators. He's been waiting for a book. Okay, all right.
Don't accept it from Gibson.
Yeah, don't take a coffee from Gibson. Or have Adam drink it first. Okay. So anyway, here we go. When the text says gejor, which means applying to good deeds, application to good deeds, applying yourself to good deeds, okay, gejor, right? When it's talking about is you are applying your mind to good deeds. He wants to explain the word jor. So when I say application to good deeds, what I mean is putting your mind to good deeds, okay? That's what applying to good deeds means, okay? Chekitap namla sawayan. This serwa is not to claim. It's not a debate. So what is it?
He said it. That's what it says.
It just means we call. It's just a word that we use. It's just a word we use to mean, that's all serwa means here. In the Abhidharma, every ser is the report of a school that we don't agree with. But in Seiji's text, he's just explaining the word. When we say apply yourself to virtue, what it means is applying your mind to doing good things. Ser, that's what the word means. So ser in his text means, it means. It means. Got it? Okay, Stawa Yinla. And then he's got a soft, what do you call it?
Disjunctive.
Disjunctive. Okay. What's a hard disjunctive? But like in Russia, a и по-русски, если сказать а, no, или и, right? But a means, a means but. In Russian, there's two words for and one means kind of more like but, and one kind means kind of more like both. You see what I mean? And it's the same in Tibetan. So la is, in this case, is no. Ili a, disjunctive. But, dechir, therefore, ge jor, and I take it to be jor, okay? This is probably a miscarving. There's probably a mistake in the carving, or in how they saw the carving, or the ink didn't touch the middle bar correctly and it looked like it might have been off to the side, okay? Because they look alike, okay? So I take it to be gejor, but you're going to check the carving. I'm not checking carvings anymore. You're checking carvings, okay? If there's a weird thing that I have to look at, that's okay, but if you can check the carvings, I can save, 20 minutes a day, and that's a lot of time, okay? Gejor chena, okay? Therefore, if you're engaged in gejor, which is the che up here in the root text, okay, got it? If you engage in applying yourself to goodness, which means applying your mind to thinking about doing good, okay? If you engage in it, gewa la jorwe makyap.
It's not necessarily so. You do good deeds.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to produce goodness.
Here's what he just said. Good deed application is not necessarily applying yourself to good deeds. It's very subtle. Okay, I'll say it again. Good deed application doesn't necessarily mean you're applying yourself to good deeds. And what he's saying is practice, Buddhist practice, is not necessarily a virtue. Okay? Buddhist practice is not necessarily a good karma.
I agree with that.
What's he going to say?
Motivation.
Yeah, motivation. If you do it for the wrong reason, then Buddhist practice, applying yourself to good deeds, is not the application to good deeds. He splits the word and he wants to make it cute. You can undertake virtue without doing virtue. Something like that. Good luck, Seiji. Okay. He says, ma kyap. Someone give me the kyap for $30.
If doing Buddhist practice would necessarily be
He says, ma kyap.
virtuous. Yeah, so it's not necessarily
Say it again. Say it more clearly.
doing
It's not necessarily the case that.
doing Buddhist practice is good karma.
Good.
Yeah. And
$30 shopping.
Oh, there was money.
No, stop while you're ahead. That's a basic Buddhist principle. Stop when you get the money. Don't try to think about it. No, yeah. It's not necessarily the case. Makyat means it's a logic expression, right? It's not necessarily the case that if you apply yourself to virtue, you are being virtuous. Because there's lots of people in the monastery reading scriptures, debating, teaching, studying, who have not a single charitable thought in their mind. They want to look good, they want to be a geshe, they want that yellow hat, you know. Okay, got it? Okay.
Would you say it's not a safe place when you're applying virtue that you're applying virtue?
Well, that's up to you guys.
Isn't that what
You know, you translate it.
yeah,
But you need a short version, and then you need a long version. And he says the short version is not necessarily the long version. Sorry, yeah.
It's like
Doing good is not necessarily doing something good. It's a joke. It's a joke like that. Doing good, not all people who do good are doing something good. It's something like that, to make it simple. But you make it more cool. That's your job. That's not my job. Gejor la makyat. Gejor mangtu. You please read. Gejor mangtu. First line. First line. End of the first line.
Above the cursor to the left.
Right here.
Oh, Gejor mantu chekyang rangkyu tene matuwan jikten patang kepar mepa namni gewa laman manjorwa impe.
Good. Gejor mangtu che.
many
Yeah, you can do a lot of so-called, Buddhist practices, but your own gyu ten ne matu.
your own
Madun.
mind isn't totally completely
You have made no efforts
at all.
to sweeten your own heart or something like that, at all. You're printing books, you're translating, you're debating, you're teaching, you're studying, and you've made no attempt to be a good person. Sound familiar? Okay, engage among the Chekyang. Okay, engage among the Chekyang. You engaged in all these supposed spiritual practices, but you've made no attempt to make your own heart sweet. In that case, jig den dan kepa me.
It's indistinguishable from worldly motives.
Yeah, no, like business.
Oh, from worldly
Yeah,
activities.
you're teaching in the monastery, you're debating in the monastery, you're memorizing books, all your retreats. They're no different than some businessman just trying to make a buck. Okay, it's very hard. That's what he's trying to say. You're no different from those guys who only care about making a buck. You're in your own way. You're just worrying about making a buck. Okay, all right. Kepa me. There's no difference between you and those make a buck guys. Okay, namni. And therefore, when you act like that, gewala major.
You're not applying yourself to goodness.
You are not practicing. Doing a lot of practices without a sweetheart is not doing practice.
Without a sweet
That's what he's saying. Well, without a sweetheart. I didn't say it that fast. Sweetheart. Okay. What's that? Ah, yeah. We just got started. Let's do this sentence. Den dawa.
Then drawa
I gave you the prenasal for free. Den dawa.
then drawa chungwe tse dini hanki sen chi hanki wa noma nansu nunma nansu gejo la sopa jikja shik jeken sentir dewa tan kipa tan tan
Yeah, nyam. Stop there. Stop there. Okay? Let's translate that much. Well, how much time we have? Keep going. Nyam do. Good, your pronunciation's getting good. All of your pronunciation's getting good. Dindawa Chumwe say.
So, similar.
You know, when this kind of thing happens, okay, and he's gonna say you should think to yourself, okay, you should, way down here, okay, there's the verb 6 lines later, which is how it happens in Tibetan, okay. When that kind of thing happens, you should think to yourself, okay, Ranki, Tsendi, this life, and Kewangunma, in my previous lives, I did apply myself to trying to be good, okay, get yours. But, Jinda Shik Che Kyang, no matter how much I did, Jinda Shik Che Kyang, no matter how much I tried to do, I was infected by the hope of Dewa and Kipa Tsendir.
Happiness and
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah, good times and happiness, Tsedila. In this life, yeah. All my motivation was that I should have pleasure and comfort in this life, myself. And I was also worrying about Tham.
Speech, how people talked about me.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Tham means discussion. But in this context, it means I was hoping people in Rimrock at home would talk about the nice owner of the cafe, must be a nice guy, you know. I was worrying about what people would say about me. Tham, okay? Nyendag is similar to Tham, but it's... Say again? Yeah, good. Kirti. I was hoping, everyone would say, oh, I know him. You know, it's similar. Tham means I was hoping people would be talking about how cool I am. And Nyendag means I was hoping people would recognize my name. If I said, oh, I'm Michael Roach. Ooh. Okay, all right. I was hoping for Nyendag, okay?
Most of the 8 really thoughts.
Yeah, we're getting there. And I was hoping for Kosa. Which
Good things like,
no, I don't think you guys know this word.
we've had it.
I don't think you had it. Kosa. Kosa is the Tibetan word for a position. Like at work, vice president position. Or it's called a egg kosa. So I was hoping for Tham. I was hoping people would talk about me in their home and how cool I am. And I was hoping that Nyandak, they would recognize my name. And I was hoping for Kosa, that I could become the president of Rimrock or something.
It also means a position in space, right? Kosa.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
We had incredible bets.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so it can mean the space occupied by an atom, for example.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, Kosa. No. I'm going to do it fast, okay? Kose sok chungna. If I were to get a high position, or people were to talk about me, or everybody knew my name, nyamdu. Okay, that kind of concern for that, nyam here means concern for that. That's what we mean in the root text by chetap. There's chetap. He's glossing chetap. You know, ways to get bigger. Ways to fang, right? Da the fang. You know, way to have people think I'm a big man. Pang mao. Yeah, pang mao the fang. Okay, nyam to say so chok chunna. Okay, I was hoping. Chunna nyam means I was hoping. In English we say hoping. Or I was thinking how nice it would be. Okay, nyamna. Sendi chitap. I was just trying to make myself a big man in this life. Which, when you say this life in Buddhism, it's almost always an insult. Okay, what you're gonna worry about? 10 minutes in a billion years. This life, it's too short to worry about. Sendi chitap kona. Shepuksu means at the depths of my heart. Okay. Chuk, I was sticking it there. And due to that, lo la, yarke means improvement in colloquial Tibetan. Yarke tang means to do improvements. Okay. Shoot up, grow up. Chungse kyang, even a little bit. Tungyam man means didn't come out, wasn't manifested. Okay, I did all this Buddhist practice, but because of my motivation of wanting to be recognized by other people, no real improvement of my heart has, what do you call it?
Flowers?
Has tun means to come out. Emerged. That's good. I like it. Yeah, it has emerged. Tungyu means there was no reason for it to. Mepa. Di Jingdu. This is how I've ended up. This is how I've ended up. Nyambe Gone. With those depressing thoughts, Nyambe Gone, you should Tonglen. Yeah, change your work on your heart with this meditation that we do, where you put yourself in the other person's shoes. Other person's shoes meditation. Okay. All right, now the next line is going to be for $0, which is what? Yeah, it's going to be his resolution to change his ways. Okay. Okay. Oh, it is the 15th? Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Shibuki Choshin Metontam Riva Minshin Inbe Kampani Sange Shindu Mite Uwagi Brokunanda Shingla Chupasho Irangulu Dagnamandala Kamya Tayami Di Kewokun Sanam Yeshe Sotsoshi Sanam Yeshe Lechuwe Tampakuni Topasho Shogi. So we're working on 18 books at the same time. We are translating 18 books at the same time. And so we have to try to save time. You see what I mean? Or some of these books are going to take 30 years already. So we have to try to use our time well, yeah? Be efficient. By the way, I think a big part of being a successful translator is to be healthy, because it's a long-term thing. So to be a successful translator, I have this theory that great lamas are the ones who didn't die. They had enough time. Check it out. The average lifespan of a successful Buddhist author is about 20 years longer than a normal Tibetan. So, first Panchen Lama, 96. Yeah, so I mean, part of being a successful translator, which is a long-term, multi-decade job, is to be healthy. So I'm sure you're all going to come to yoga at 1:45-ish, and Nick and Aaron have offered their yoga studio. Okay, Anatol's going to teach a class, and he's an amazing yoga teacher, so everyone's welcome. So don't tell me you don't have a mat or you're close, because you have now this break for 10-15 minutes to figure out how to find a yoga mat, which is very difficult. So yesterday people were giving me this thing. I couldn't find a yoga mat. They're here, okay?